Welcome to the course Marketing Management. My name is Daniel Wentzel and I'm Professor of Marketing here at RWTH Aachen University, and I will be taking you through this course. So, what is this course about? Now obviously it is about marketing in all its different facets, and we've prepared lots and lots of videos and ideas for you to take an idea away of what marketing is about. Now, but before we get started, I really want to take some minutes to talk about the general logic of the course, what's going to happen, what you can expect, and also talk about the idea, what is marketing? Now, and if I'm really honest, now this whole course is based on 3 questions that I want to cover with you. Now, and you can also put this differently. Now, if you work through this course, if you participate and pay attention and work through all the materials, and at the end of doing all of that, you're unable to answer these 3 questions, now that means that I have failed miserably as a teacher. Now, what are the 3 questions? Now, the first question is, what is marketing? So why are you here? Why should we care about marketing, about teaching and learning about marketing? The second question is, now that follows from the first, what is good marketing? Now that question is very relevant because you would not believe how much bad marketing is out there. Now, and the third question then is, now assuming that there's good and bad marketing and you are the ones that want to come up with good marketing, now the third question is how to come up with good marketing. Now that's a really tricky one, and I don't believe I can cover or answer that questions within the next few minutes, but we'll get to that at later stages in the course. Now let's come back to the first question, what is marketing really? Now see, I'm a professor and a researcher, and in that capacity as a researcher, I love definitions, right? So professors, researchers love definitions. And I try to look up some definitions of marketing, and the one that I have for you here is one that's provided by the American Marketing Association. Now the American Marketing Association, now that's the biggest professional academic association on marketing. Now this is something like the FIFA on marketing, not as corrupt as FIFA, but as big probably, as significant. Now, so what do they have to say about marketing? Now a definition that's already quite a few years old from the year 1985, what do they say? Now they say marketing is a process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion and distribution of goods, ideas and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual and organizational goals. Now that's a lot of tough academic language. Now if you really look at what it says, now they talk about processes, right? Now they say, well, marketing is nothing more than just a whole lot of processes. Now it's a process of planning and executing the conception of a good, now coming up with an idea, pricing, promotion and distribution, now assuming that they have an idea, what is the price tag for the product or service, now how you're going to promote and communicate that offer, and how is it going to be distributed. So how is the product going to find the way from the company to the customers. Now marketing as a whole set of processes, now you can put that differently. If you do all these things that they say in the definition, well, that must mean that you're doing marketing, and then also probably quite likely you're doing good or at least decent marketing, right? So that's the idea in the year 1985, marketing as a set of processes. Now let's go on. So what has happened till then? Because, you know, as any discipline in research, marketing is constantly evolving. Now, more than 30 years later, the American Marketing Association said, well, it's about time to revise our definition. So maybe our idea of what marketing is has changed, and maybe that should be reflected in a different kind of definition, right? So we're talking about the year 2008. Now, so what are they saying now? Now they're saying marketing is the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners and society at large. Now, if you compare that to the previous definition, now you will see that the idea of what marketing is or should be now has changed, right? Now in this definition, they're not talking about processes as strongly anymore. Now they're talking about value. So the focus has shifted from the what, so what is marketing about, what are you doing, to the why, right? Now they're talking about why do we engage in marketing? Why do we care about marketing? Well, because the aim of marketing is to create value, not only for customers and companies, but also for partners and society at large. So the aim of marketing is to create value for many different stakeholders. Now, and this will also give you a first initial idea about what good marketing and what bad marketing is. Now, very simply, good marketing is some kind of marketing that creates value, and bad marketing or mediocre marketing is marketing that doesn't seem to create a great deal of value. Now, another idea or another way of getting an idea of what good marketing is or what bad marketing is you just go out and look at the world and see what's happening there, right? So this is one of the reasons why I find marketing so fascinating as a field of research and teaching, now because it connects to our daily lives. It connects to what we see and experience as consumers and customers in the market. Now, and again, you could be looking at companies and you come to your own conclusions. Are these companies good or bad at marketing? Now, let's take Apple, for instance. Now, is Apple good at marketing? Now, there's no dispute that the company is, whatever you may say, is tremendously successful, insanely successful at selling technological gadgets. Now, the key question is part of that success due to them being good at marketing? Now, is marketing really important for Apple? Is the ability to position and promote technological products in such a way that we want them? Now, is that important? Does it make a difference? Or is it, or is it more likely that the success of Apple is just based on the simple fact that the products are very good, and that the marketing is not more than a gadget or an add-on to what fantastic products do? Let's take another example, Red Bull. So I love that example, Red Bull, not in terms of the beverage, but in terms of a good example for talking about marketing. Now, what does Red Bull do? Now, they sell some kind of carbonated, kind of brownish, sugary, sparkling liquid. Now, that's supposed to give you some kind of energy rush, right? Now, this is what they sell. Now, Red Bull does lots and lots of marketing. They spend a lot of money on marketing. Now, and if you look at what they do, now lots of the marketing activities don't really seem to focus on that drink, right? What do they do in their marketing? Now, for instance, now this is your first German lesson, Red Bull verleiht Flügel, meaning Red Bull gives you wings. Now, if you look at what they do in marketing, one thing they did a couple of years ago is they sent one guy, Felix Baumgartner, I believe his name was, they sent him up to the upper stratosphere, to outer space, and let him jump back down to Earth. Now, I thought that was fascinating. I thought that was a really cool thing to do, especially because the guy survived and came back to Earth in one piece. Now, the key question is, what does it have to do with selling some kind of carbonated energy drink? So what's the connection between a guy jumping from outer space back to Earth to consuming, buying an energy drink? Now, is this good or bad marketing? And what's the real value or purpose behind that? Another good example, Ryanair. And I assume that most of you are familiar with Ryanair, what Ryanair does. Now, it's a low-cost carrier in the airline industry, right? Now, and what does Ryanair do? What's the offer? What is it that they offer to their customers? Now, basically, what they offer is to get you from A to B at a pretty low price. This is what they do, and to be honest about it, they don't do much else than that. Except from getting you from A to B, that's it. You want anything else, you will have to pay for it, it's not included, and so forth. Now, the key question is this good or bad marketing? And I think, and you may come to your own conclusion, but I think, the valuable lesson about Ryanair is now they have understood not only what people want, but also what do people not need. So what are people willing to forgo in return for a low price? And they're very good at understanding that, how far they can push the limits of their service in return for a good price. Last example, what is good marketing? Greenpeace. Now, so Greenpeace is different now. So Greenpeace is an NGO, a non-governmental organization. Now, they don't sell anything, right? Not in a strict sense of the word. They don't sell products or services like Red Bull or Apple or Ryanair do. Now, they are in the process, or their purpose is to save the planet. Now, do organizations such as these need marketing? So maybe yes they do, right? So in the end, marketing is also about getting people to behave in a certain way, to do things that they were not keen on doing beforehand. Now, and so this is similar for Greenpeace, right? So these people are about changing people's habits to getting a better conscience about the environment. Now, if that is the case, maybe companies or organizations such as these, maybe they also need, or they could also benefit from using all the tools and tricks of the marketing trade. Now, so that was, the question is, what is marketing? So what is good marketing? We started talking about that, but again, this is just the introduction of the course. Now, the last question is how to come up with a good marketing. Now, as I said beforehand, now that's a tricky one. Now, this is the real purpose of the course. Now, so what I'm going to do now is to sketch out very briefly what it is that we're going to cover in the course. And I believe if we go through all these steps and you understood the meaning and how to apply all these tools, and I think if that is the case, then you should be in a pretty good position to implement good marketing. So let's get started. What is it that we're going to cover in the course? Now, first off, we're going to start with some kind of analysis, meaning in order to be good at marketing, what you really need is to have a very good understanding of your customers. Now, it doesn't matter if it's B2C marketing, so companies marketing to end consumers, or B2B marketing where firms sell to other firms. Now it doesn't matter. So if you don't really understand who your customer is and what they want, well, then you're doomed to fail. And this is why I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about these things. Now, assuming they have a good understanding, what firms typically do before they launch products, now they conduct and implement some kind of market research, right? So testing your assumptions about the market, testing your assumptions about the customer, getting some information on which to base your future decisions. Now, once you've done that, now this is one of the key parts of marketing, to develop a marketing strategy and a competitive positioning, right? So being very clear about what is it that you're going to sell to your customers. Now, and once you're clear about that, about the positioning, about the general idea and the business model, well, only then should you go on and developing the marketing mix. And you may have heard this before. These are the legendary 4 Ps, so product, price, place, and promotion. So these are tools or means for executing your marketing strategy. Now, and once you have done that, now then you go on into implementing and controlling your strategy or your marketing mix. Now, these are the 5 key steps that we're going to cover in the course. And hopefully, I've triggered your interest in the course. I'll be looking forward to taking you through the course and hearing your opinions.